more and more people are paying attention to this story, obviously, because we've always said this, the more and more things are recorded and the more and more you can't hide things from people, the more and more they're going to report on it because they can't. Now, that doesn't mean anything except that there's things in the sky that people are recording. It doesn't necessarily mean it's anything except, like we said, we don't know if it is these particular, if the government's lying, that it is indeed U.S. military. They have said definitively that it is not. They have also said definitively that it is not foreign governments. There is a Republican senator who said this is an Iraq mothership that has been sending these drones out. The government has shot that down and said, nope, that is not the case at all. Now, if they're lying about either one of them, I would say that it's more likely that they're lying that it's U.S. military. Because why these things wouldn't be getting shot out of the sky left and right if it was a foreign entity, I just don't know. But the stance that the government is taking is that, we don't know what it is. We're baffled by all this. We're trying to figure it out. I think that's a bunch of bullshit. I think that they absolutely know what it is. I'm not going to try to guess what I think it is because I have no clue. I don't know anymore. I used to think that it was military, U.S. military kind of exercise, and it very well could be. Someone made the point yesterday. I was like, well, if you didn't believe it yesterday, why do you believe it when the government tells you that it is? It's just definitively saying that to me is just such a, if it is proven now because there's just so many eyes on it, it is proven that it is a U.S. military exercise, and we find that out, that's going to be a lot of crap off the government's face that they're not going to be able to get off. So John Kirby was asked some questions about this yesterday, the day before, and this is what he said. And then there was an official statement also, but let me play this clip first.
If the president, as commander-in-chief, believed, based on the information that he'd been given, that there was a national security threat at play here, or even a public safety threat at play here, he would issue the appropriate directives to not only law enforcement, but perhaps even the military if that was needed. I want to go back to something I said at the top. There has been no evidence of any of this activity in or near restricted spaces.
That's not what the senators said in the letter. They said, in fact, that they've been observed maneuvering their critical infrastructure, sensitive locations, including reservoirs and military installations, and cited a concern from law enforcement about public safety threats because a medevac helicopter was prevented from transporting a seriously injured patient for care because of the presence of these drones.
I stand by my opening statement.
Can you make that make more sense? Because I think people in New York and New Jersey see drones the size of an SUV over their house every night and think that that doesn't make any sense.
Certainly I understand why people would be looking at this and being concerned about it. We're concerned about it too, which is why we have the Department of Homeland Security and the FBI, my goodness, looking at this. And we're taking it seriously. And we understand that people are concerned. We understand that they got questions. We got questions too. And we're working hard to get the answers to that. What I can tell you as we sit here today, at 2:16 in the afternoon on the 12th, is we haven't seen any indication thus far that there's a public safety risk, and we haven't seen.
Does the government know what they are?
We are still investigating this. I can't tell you definitively. I cannot characterize for you definitively what these sightings are.
I don't know, man. All of that seems shady as hell. Good on that computer, that reporter for asking the question in the way that she did ask that question. Good on that reporter for following it up in the way that she followed it up, where she said, wait a minute, make that make more sense. Because nobody was doing that. No reporters were doing that. And she said, wait a minute, make that make more sense. That's not what the senators said. There's a lot of people who said that it is flying over. And how about bringing up the fact that this is what happened last year when it was flying over Langley, these things. And then I don't like the answer of, you don't know what it is? Well, we're still kind of looking into it. So you do know what it is. You just can't really tell us yet because you're not ready to tell us what you think it is or what you might know it is. Everything about that was just, and it was a little smug, to be completely honest with you, when he's like, I stand by my original statement. You're not allowed to do that right now, to be smug like that. You're not allowed because, again, good on that reporter for then saying, what do you tell people who are looking at drones the size of SUVs flying around their house that you just say, oh, it's okay. We haven't found anything that's a problem yet, and it's not necessarily causing any problems yet. It's like, aren't you the ones that are supposed to be protecting everybody? Aren't you the ones that are supposed to be telling us what is happening? There's reports from some people who think that this might be, I think that both George Knapp and Jeremy Corbell kind of suggested that this could be a way for the government to be preparing people, if disclosure ever did come, how they would react. I don't know. I don't quote me on that all the way through. I still have to watch the full episode of Weaponized, so I don't know yet. But from what people sent me, that's kind of what was hinted at, and it's interesting. And again, this was from Kirby. This was like a day or two ago, but this was a statement that was put out, official statement. So let me read this. Here is the statement. It's a joint DHS FBI statement on the reports of the drones in New Jersey. We have no evidence at this time that the report drone sightings pose a national security or public safety threat or have a foreign nexus. The FBI, DHS, and our federal partners in close coordination with the New Jersey State Police continue to deploy personnel and technology to investigate the situation and confirm whether the reported drone flights are actually drones or are instead manned aircraft or otherwise inaccurate sightings. Historically, we have experienced cases of mistaken identity where reported drones are. In fact, manned aircrafts or facilities, we are supporting local law enforcement in New Jersey with numerous detection methods, but have not corroborated any of the reported visual sightings with electronic detection. To the contrary, upon review of available imagery, it appears that many of the reported sightings are actually manned aircraft operating lawfully. There are no reported or confirmed drone sightings in any restricted airspace. We take seriously the threat that can be posed by unmanned aircraft systems, UAS, which is why law enforcement and other agencies continue to support New Jersey and investigate the reports. To be clear, they have uncovered no such malicious activity or intent at this stage. While there is no known malicious activity occurring in New Jersey, the reported sightings there do, however, highlight the insufficiency of current authorities. What the hell is that? So wait a minute. So people are, it's this man crap. People are just kind of flying around, and well, don't those people see the news? Say, hey, maybe we shouldn't be flying around right now. People are really freaked out, thinking that we're drones. I'm gonna call somebody and tell them that it's us because they're freaking out. Nobody. It's just some guy in a Snoopy mask or whatever, going, hey, I'm crazy. I'm flying around. You think I'm a drone or an alien? I'm not telling anybody. Woo! It's like, what? What do you mean? You mean it's mancraft and it's okay? So well, then you know who it is. Tell us who it is. Tell us so we know, and or the person who's flying knows, and he can they can tell us. No? Okay. BS all the way around, and at the end they blame it on everybody except themselves. They're going to highlight the insufficiency of current authorities. Great. That's what we need. Unity. Thanks, guys. What is that? And then what about the stuff going on in Oregon? Because check this out.
And as he flew over Mount Rainier, Arnold says he saw 9 bright, shiny saucers. And while lately we've been talking a lot about drones and UAPs and mysteries in the sky in New Jersey, let's take a trip back in time to 1947. And no, we're not talking about Roswell 1947. But 1 month before, when a pilot named Kenneth Arnold took off from Washington on his way to an air show, and as he flew over Mount Rainier, Arnold says he saw 9 bright, shiny, saucer-like objects flying in formation across the sky, some weaving side to side like a kite. Well, guess what just happened in the Pacific Northwest? Some 80 years later, some pilots just saw something very similar. And this time, there is audio of their conversation with an air traffic control tower. Take a listen.
We're seeing 3 or 4 targets. Yeah, they're all altitudes, up and down. It's pretty crazy.
We're not seeing anything, getting lots of different reports out there. Some at 30, some all the way up to 50,000, about 3 or 4 different lights. Does it look like they're around your altitude now?
No, there's one way up high and one about my altitude. moving in like a circle, like a corkscrew pattern. Just had another one show up about my 1 o'clock, about 1,000 feet high, zipping towards us and then back out towards the ocean. It's red in color, moving at extreme speeds.
Roger. You are cleared to maneuver as necessary, left and right, to avoid the UFO out there.
Avoid the UFO out there? That's coming from the air traffic controller. So what could it be? Well, joining us now is co-founder of Americans for Safe Aerospace, Ryan Graves. 50,000 feet, Ryan. You were part of a squadron that saw some weird things out on the East Coast. How dangerous can things be? And like, what's your reaction to hearing, oh, just, you know, navigate around the UFO casually uttered by a traffic controller?
Well, honestly, I'm actually happy that they are actually reporting it to the FAA. For a long time, pilots didn't even want to broadcast this out over the radio for fear of the stigma and ridicule that's associated with it. But, you know, I think we've learned over the past few years that this is a very consistent thing that's been happening to pilots. They are seeing things not just way up in the sky, potentially in space, but things that seem to be exhibiting very strange maneuvers and capabilities right in the atmosphere with the aircraft themselves. And whenever you have an unknown object like that, that's a safety risk for pilots.
A safety risk for pilots, especially if they're moving around rapidly and they're able to go 50,000 feet or higher very quickly, right? I mean, look, on the East Coast, people are seeing things, they're calling those drones. On the West Coast, you have reports like this, and then all around the country, there are reports that come in every single day. Do you think all of it is related, or are we looking at distinct things here?
Well, unfortunately, I don't think we really know quite yet. The cases that we've been seeing in New Jersey, although not any one single video seems to be extremely anomalous, when you step back from the whole and take a look at the historical context off the eastern seaboard, from Virginia Beach to the Langley Air Force Base to now up in New Jersey and even New York, we see a pretty startling trend of a repeatable pattern of unidentified objects that seemingly are exhibiting long flight times, long loiter capabilities, and are coming from unknown locations, potentially somewhere over or in the ocean. And those aren't my words. Those are the words of one of the senior Republicans at the hearing 2 days ago when they were questioning about these drone incursions over New Jersey.
And so now that the stigma seems to be going away, like step two seems to be to do something about people just shrugging when it comes to things like this. I mean, they get brought up and then we're told it doesn't pose any threat when there are no answers on where they're coming from or where they're going or how they're able to stay up for so long. Why are people so comfortable with this?
Well, I would push back a little bit and say that the stigma is certainly still there. I've been very disappointed to hear the language from the Biden administration, from the Pentagon, essentially telling people that they're not actually seeing what they're seeing. There's been 3,000 reports to the FBI on this issue. And the Biden administration seems to be gaslighting the American people into telling them that there's not really anything to be concerned of. Well, people are concerned, governors are concerned, mayors are concerned, families are concerned. And I think it's time that they have a level conversation with us about what's going on. And we can take a hard look at some of this antiquated drone legislation that we have and laws that really prevent us from getting to the bottom of this, because we're at a stalemate here. If this was an adversary, they'd have all the time in the world to take advantage of this situation.
So there you go. Ryan Graves, I think, saying it very well. And even if the Jersey thing is not necessarily related to the Oregon thing, there are certainly things out there that people are seeing in the skies way more now. And I like what he said because, yes, look, the stigma, I think, has dropped. But gone? No. And I think Ryan Graves said it very well. It's not gone. Like, even there's this story in general has been being covered. And I'll tell you that I've gotten a lot of my friends who don't cover or don't follow this topic a lot have been texting me on what's going on with this drone situation. What's this drone situation? What do you think it is? And I say, listen, I know about as much of it as you do. I'm just following it, saying I can tell you what the government is saying about it, which is a whole lot of nothing. They are BSing all the way through. That's all. That's really all I can tell you. What do I think it is? I don't know. It's just the most telling thing to me was the conversation that I had with James Fox about it, to where we both kind of agreed that the majority of stuff that we've heard in the past about UFO sightings, right? Even the one in Oregon, is how things kind of moved and it was kind of more silent. A lot of these drones have been noisy, right? Maybe not. I don't know. It's very confusing overall. But as I find out more, as you find out more, we hope to get some more information on it. But the government ain't telling us anything. Will they speak up? Will they say actually what is happening when they finally find one of these things? I don't know. What do you guys think? Put your thoughts in there. Tell me exactly what you think. If you can, please go ahead and subscribe to the channel. If you haven't done that already, please do so. And then that's it. And if you can help out the channel, you want to get a nice gift for the holiday, check out one of our wonderful sponsors. I'll tell you about two of them right now. And we'll see you back here on Monday. Don't BS me. You know as well as I do, wearing nice pants stinks. Who came up with the plan and said, hey, let's get some uncomfortable fabrics, squeezing your family jewels, and that is how you're going to look sharp? I'm going to give you an early holiday gift, and this is from me to you. The days are over. Public Rec's Daymaker pants, they're here to make sure you stay comfy and classy this season. They feel like your favorite sweats, but they're tailored pants. Super stretchy with an elastic waistband so you can rock them anywhere. Doesn't matter. You're going to work, you're going to hang out with your friends, they got you covered. Give the gift of comfort to someone that you love this season with Public Rec's Daymaker pants. And for a limited time only, you can get 20% off your entire order. You got to use that code DTE at publicrec.com. That is 20% off when you use that code DTE at publicrec.com. This morning, I was looking in the mirror. I go, these look damn good. I look slick. Anyway, go there, check it out, and you'll thank me later. Okay, it's time for me to gush over Via. It's that time of the show. This holiday season, you have to unwind, recharge with Via. It doesn't matter if you're enjoying a quiet evening at home or embracing the festive cheer. Via's premium THC and THC-free gummies will help you find your perfect holiday balance. They are renowned for their award-winning THC and THC-free gummies, THC flower soothing topicals, and calming drops. They're all crafted with the highest quality hemp sourced from trusted, independently owned American farms. Best part, legally shipped to nearly all states in the U.S. in discreet packaging directly to your door with a worry-free guarantee. No medical card required. If you've been following me, you've heard me raving about Via whenever I can. I love Via. Favorite one? Probably the sleep one, the dreams one, right there. I love it. It's great. It's so convenient. It's made in the USA. It's award-winning service, quality ingredients. It's affordable, accessible. This holiday season, gift yourself some peace of mind. If you are 21 and over, you check out the link to Via in our description. You use that code DTE. You receive 15% off, and then you're going to purchase. You're going to ask you where you heard about them. Well, you support our show, and you tell them that we sent you. This holiday season, enhance your everyday with Via. They are the best.